Do not question your identity when the work that you're doing is not working for you, because it's working on you. It's working on you internally. And it has to be right internally before it can show up externally. Because if you get it externally before you get it internally, then you will start to believe that you did it on your own. And that's a dangerous place to be mentally, that you did it on your own. You gotta lean on him 100%. And I'm not here to say that I have the biggest faith in the world, but I have just seen what the faith, with my little faith, has done for me so far. It has brought my family together closer. It has brought stability in my life. It has allowed me to grow mentally. It has allowed me to pour into people. It has allowed me to be of help. Welcome back to another episode of the Hour of Change podcast. And as y'all know, with every episode, you would never think the same, you would never move the same, or you would never work the same, because the information that we provide here is going to change your life. It's going to help you grow to become your best self. It's going to help you think different. It's going to just expand your mind. And, I've been on this journey of growing for the past maybe 2-3 years now, and I've seen how my mind has grew, and that's just something that I want to help other people do. That's something that I want to inspire in others. So today's episode is going to be a bit different. It's just going to be me today, and I just want to talk about who the Hour of Change podcast is for, and why I started it, where the name comes from, just kind of a backstory. So let's start off with where did the name out? Well, let's start off with who is the. You know what? Let's start off with what is the Hour of Change podcast. So for me, the Hour of Change podcast came from a place of seeking. Over the years, I've become more and more a fiend for information, more and more a fiend for knowledge, and more a fiend for growth. And I noticed that there was a gap in. I noticed that there was a gap between the people that want to get into business and the people that have started business. And I wanted to become the medium that was going to provide the information for people that want to get into business. So what I decided to do was I decided to interview entrepreneurs that have wanted to build businesses, successful people that have wanted to build businesses. So my mission statement is this: I dive into the hearts and minds of entrepreneurs to learn more about personal development and business. And the reason I said it is because I believe that those two things intertwined can truly create something successful: entrepreneurship and personal development. So that's what this mission is about. And we are here to serve the people that is looking to grow personally and professionally. That is what my mission is, through diving into the hearts and minds of entrepreneurs. Um, it started back maybe 2 years ago. I was sitting in my driveway with my homeboy Patch. We went out to eat, and we get back late one night, and we was listening to, I think we was listening to Myron Golden. And we were just sitting there talking, and Patch knows how much of he knows that I like to ask questions that make people think on a more profound level. And sometimes it got to the point where people will get annoyed at the question, or they don't want me to ask questions. But people like friends or his friends, my friends, just people that I just know. And what ended up happening was, in that moment of us sitting there talking, he was like, "Man, I think you should start a podcast." And I was thinking about it for a minute, but we were just there sitting in the car listening to the wisdom by Myron, and Patch was just like, "Bro, I think you should just go ahead and do it." And in that moment, he was just a friend speaking life into me, and it took some time, but I finally got it off the ground. And on this journey of podcasting, I've been able to connect with so many people that I have never thought I would have been able to connect with. And it's been a up and down journey of starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping. Sometimes I even question, is this the direction that God want me to go in? Is this the way He want me to serve the people He put me here to serve? In this capacity of being a podcaster? And I think one of the reasons why I question that so much is because when you put in so much, well, I don't even know if I could say I'm putting so much into it, because in one breath I just said I've been starting and stopping, starting and stopping. So I would be lying to myself, and I would be lying to y'all if I say that, hey, I was starting and stopping, and then I say, hey, I've been putting so much energy into it, because that's contradicting, and that's not true. But I guess in this moment, I would like to say that, one, I need to get better. I need to get better at the craft. I need to get better at staying consistent at this, because this is something that I truly want to do. I believe that I have a voice that that resonates with people. I do believe that my voice has the power and the potential to reach people that want to grow. And that's something that I have to take seriously and nurture it every single day. And I have not been doing that. So for the people that have been tuning into the podcast whenever I drop episodes, one, I want to say thank you. Thank you for investing your time and your energy into listening to what I have going on and the guests that I have brought onto the show. So thank you for that. I forgot where I was going. What I was just saying. Oh, I was saying that sometimes I wonder if this is the way that God wants me to serve people. But the reason I question that is because sometimes the work just seems like it's not working. It just seems like it's not working. Like my numbers is not growing. The downloads are not increasing. Some of the people, the guests that I reach out to, they don't respond back. And it's like that could get discouraging sometimes. It really could get discouraging. And I think that's one of the reasons why sometimes I start and I stop, I start and I stop, because it gets discouraging. And in this moment, I want to tell y'all to, on your journey of becoming great, on your journey of becoming your best self, on your journey in entrepreneurship and building what you are here to create, on your journey to serve the people that you're supposed to serve, on your journey to pleasing God, it's not going to be an easy road. It's not going to be all glitter and gold. It's going to be some discouraging days. But we have to remember that the habits that we have built helps us to continue on the days where there's no inspiration, on the days where there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? On the days where you're discouraged. So we have to start building success habits. I want to encourage you on this day to, okay, the best way I can put it is this way. And this is one of the mantras that I've been living by recently for the past few months. And that is, faith and doubt are both belief systems, right? Faith and doubt are both belief systems. Faith is believing in the outcomes that you desire. And doubt is believing in the outcomes that you do not desire. If you just focus your mind on the outcomes that you desire and ignore doubt, which is the distraction. So I just want to encourage you to just increase your faith, increase your belief in the thing that you want to do. That's what I want to do today as well while I'm talking to y'all. And I know this conversation is kind of everywhere right now, but I just felt the need to come on here to speak to the people that have been tuning into the Hour of Change podcast and to the people that's gonna one day be listening. Another reason why I decided to do this is because my wife has been pushing me to drop an episode by myself sometimes so people can know who I am, so my audience can get to know me. And that's something that I think I want to start doing more often is, getting on here, just talking to the people so you guys get to know who I am, what I'm about, what's my message. And one thing I've learned is that people are attracted to you when they could see themselves in you. And I have not put out enough content for people to see who I am, for people to even get attracted to me. So, to tell a quick story, to tell you who I am, my name is Derek Kelly, but everyone call me DK. Like, that's by my initials. And I'm a father of 3. I'm a husband. I am a God-fearing man. And while I'm on the subject of who I am, I want to say this at the same time. Don't define me by how you met me, and don't limit me by a title. Don't define me by a title, and don't limit me to how you met me. Because if you could do that, then you can incarcerate me. I am human first and foremost. I am one of you. We all bleed the same. We all breathe the same air. So that's who I am. Human first. I make mistakes. I go through the same emotions. I may have some of the same problems that you have. But the one thing that may be different between me and you is that my belief is growing and my consistency towards growing is becoming better and better and better and better and better every day. Like, I seek to learn new information every single day because it's like the more you know, the more you understand that you don't know. And that's what keep you on the quest for learning and learning and learning and learning and learning more and more and more and more and more and more and more. But I'm just a man that's looking to become his best self. I'm just a guy that's looking to grow. I'm just a guy that's looking to inspire people to become their best selves. Let me see how I want to say this. And right now, I just want y'all to forgive me. Well, not forgive me, but just be patient with me because, for one, this is the first time I'm dropping an episode by myself. So I have to get used to this style so it can flow more fluently. I did not prepare for this. I just decided to turn the camera on and I just decided to let it flow. And I feel like, on the journey of entrepreneurship, sometimes we get so stuck in wanting everything to be perfect before we get started. And that could be of hindrance to us. So just turn the camera on. Just start the business. Just get started. You have to, because some lessons could only be learned in the activity of doing the thing that you want to do. And as I'm currently doing the activity, what I could do next is I could When I'm done with this, I could assess it, see what needs to get better, and then grow it from there. And that's how you know you becoming better. You measure. Hmm. Wait 1 second. Let me see. Okay. You have to. Okay, here we go. Where performance is measured, performance has the capacity to increase. So you have to measure your performance. You have to measure everything that it is that you're doing so it could increase. That's if you want to increase and become better. But I keep jumping ahead. I keep going on a tangent because as I say things, it's like I have to tell you why I'm saying the thing I'm talking about, or talk about it a little bit more, go in depth a little bit more about the point I'm making. But to tell you who I am, to go back to who I am, I want to start by saying that I went through a period in my life to where I was negatively influenced. And the reason why I want to touch on this topic is because I feel like a lot of us are in the wrong environments that are holding us back from becoming our best and our most authentic and highest self. We are in environments that are not inspiring us to live. We are in environments that are killing us mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And the reason I know this is because I was that person before. I was the guy that was scamming. I was the guy that was hanging around people that was encouraging me to still to do that. I was the guy that was taking money from other people's business, wanting to start my own business. I was the guy that was stealing. And I thank God for working on me because without him, I wouldn't be here today. I thank God for sending a wonderful stand-up woman in my life because without her, I wouldn't be here today. And it wasn't until one day she told me, hey, and this is a message that I really want y'all to take with you and let it resonate in your heart because this transformed me. It transformed my mind to a place where it was like, wow, the profound wisdom in this woman is just unbelievable. And she said to me, how are you wanting to start and grow a business, but you take it from somebody else's business? And when she said it, it just hit me right in my soul. Like, it hit me so deep in my heart. I was like, whoa. And I didn't cut out stealing cold turkey. I still struggle with it. But it was like, because she said it, I could hear her voice in my mind. That little gem she dropped on me was like, it resonated so deeply with me that it became a war with good and evil. It became a war, and eventually good win because it made sense. How are you taking from somebody else's business and you want to grow your own business? How? Which goes back to the law of the garden that says you always reap more than what you sow. Always. If you sow an apple seed, you're going to get 10 apples. Or, sorry, tell how many apples you're going to grow. You sow one watermelon seed, you may get 15 watermelons. You just never know, but you always sow more than what you reap. Reversely, same thing on the negative side. You sow one bad seed, you're going to get 100. You don't even know how much bad seeds, how much bad fruit you're going to reap. You do one bad deed, you don't know how much bad deeds may happen to you. But all these things are just the lessons that God wants us to learn. And on this journey, I just want to encourage you to sow good seeds. Starting with the way you think. starting with the way you speak, sow good seeds into your mind. Because everything that you are flows out of who you are, the good and the bad. And you only can reproduce what you are. So it starts mentally. It starts mentally. You have to think good thoughts. You have to eliminate the negative thoughts. Get it out of your mind. You have to get it out of your mind. And the quickest way to get it out of your mind is you have to self-assess. You have to self-assess and you have to look internally. And literally, what I would say is, you have to know the person that you want to become. And if the people and the things that you listen to on a daily basis, if they are not helping you to become that person, then you need to eliminate it. You have to. And that's one thing God did for me in my life, was when I decided that this is the person I want to become, I just noticed friendships started to fall away. I noticed that people that I was hanging around started to fall away. I noticed that the environments I was in, I was no longer hanging in them environments. It got to a point where God literally stripped everything away from me. And I believe that the reason He stripped everything away from me was because He wanted me to lean on Him and to trust Him. We was living in a house, couldn't even afford to pay the rent no more. House got taken away from us. My car got messed up, had to let it go, had to sell it. I had a podcast studio, and I couldn't afford to make the payments anymore. It got taken away from me. And I even had equipment in there. I had cameras, I had equipment in there, I had ring lights, I had backdrops, I had tables, I had chairs, I had a nice setup. And God removed all of those things from me because He wanted my attention. He wanted me to trust Him. That's the message I got from it. And in that moment, you just don't see it. Sometimes you don't see it in that moment. But as the more you decide to lean on God, the more He reveals Himself to you. And, looking back in hindsight, I am very appreciative of Him taking all that stuff away from me. That way I know now, and everything that I do and everything that I get, everything that I acquire, all comes from the Most High. So on this journey, man, that y'all are onto building and becoming your personal and best self, whether it's in business and in your personal life, I want to encourage you to, just lean on God, because His word don't fail. His word don't fail. And one of the most difficult things is that as things start to get taken away from you, you may start to question your identity. Because it's like you ask God for a certain thing, but He take away first. And you may start to question your identity in that season. But I want to tell you to do not question your identity when the work that you're doing is not working for you. Because it's working on you. It's working on you internally. And it has to be right internally before it can show up externally. Because if you get it externally before you get it internally, then you will start to believe that you did it on your own. And that's a dangerous place to be mentally, that you did it on your own. You got to lean on Him 100%. And I'm not here to say that I have the biggest faith in the world, but I have just seen what with my little faith has done for me so far. It has brought my family together closer. It has brought stability in my life. It has allowed me to grow mentally. It has allowed me to pour into people. It has allowed me to be of help to others. And I just want to continue to grow that through this podcast. Um, you know, while I was in those environments of where I knew I shouldn't be in, because I was brought up in a two-parent household that it was, to me, looking back at hindsight, I could say that it was like perfection. Um, they make sure they kept us in the right environments at all times. And I'm not going to go into the whole rabbit hole right now on that topic of how my childhood was, but I just want to take this time to shout out my parents because they did an amazing job to keep all of us in the right environments, keep us away from the negative things that's happening in the world. But in my adult years, I got caught up in chasing superficial things that God already has readily available for his people in abundance. And now that my mindset has been changed and I know who I am, it has allowed me to operate completely opposite of the way I was operating before. So that's it, man. That's it. I don't want to take up too much of your time today. I just wanted to come on here and just tell you who I am, a little bit about who I am and what I got going on. And I hope to see you stick around for this show. Thank you again for listening. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for being a part. The one thing that I really inspire to do, man, is just to help people grow in their journey. I would say that I am a guy that shines light in dark places with words because God has given me this gift of crafting words in a certain way that it make people's mind think. And the reason I know this is because I see how people's nervous system respond when you tell them something. I can see how they respond. I can see how the way they look at me. I've even had people even tell me, hey, why you always go so deep? And that's just because the more you seek knowledge, the more you just understand is you don't really know a lot. And I just been noticing that I'm just on this quest for becoming my best self. And I believe that by becoming my best self is by continuously learning from the people that have went out and built successful things on the principles and the values that I believe are important, which is honesty, integrity, which is being selfless, which is humility, which is faith. So, on your journey, don't forget to stick to your core values and don't allow nobody to get in between that. Because you know right from wrong and you know what it is that you have to do. You know what it is that you got to do. Take accountability. Take accountability for your life. This is your life. You only get one of them. You get one life. You get one shot at this thing. Don't play around with it. Don't play around with it. Get serious. Take hold of your dreams. I want to see you win. I want to see you become the best version of yourself. And to everyone that's listening to the sound of my voice right now, I want, whenever you hear my voice or whenever you speak to me, whenever you see me, I want your dreams. I want your goals. I want your visions to stand at attention. I want them to come in agreement with every word that you say. I want them to stand at attention and be ready to go. So you give your dreams the marching orders. But it all starts within. It all starts in the mind. You got to control your mind. Control your mind. Control your thoughts. Watch who you hang around. Watch the environments that you be in. I just want my belief that we all could have a bigger and better life. I want that to transfer to you because I know it's possible. I know it's possible. I know it is. So, as I get ready to close this, I want to say this as well. I want you to trust that God is right about you. Trust that God is right about you. And anyone that disagrees with what God says about you, that's their problem, not yours. Let me say that again. Trust that God is right about you. And anyone that disagrees with what God says about you, that's their problem and not yours. There we go. This is my first solo episode by myself on the Hour Change podcast. May this serve its purpose in which it was intended for, to increase your belief in yourself, to make you want to go out there and become your best self, to make you want to dig deep and find out who you are and make you want to go after it. God didn't give us the desire to want to have the best things. God didn't give us the desire to want to look our best, to feel our best, to make money, to just live in abundance for no reason. He didn't give us that He didn't give us that desire for no reason. And one of the greatest superpowers that we have as human beings is the power of will. You have the will to do it. You got it. It's all within. You got that will. You could do it. I promise you could do it. Take your life by your hands and you become the architect of your own life. You design it how you want to design it. Sit down and just assess your whole life. Assess everybody. Assess everything that you do. Assess the things that you watch. Assess the things that you consume. And really do a deep, deep, deep introspection. And write it out. And put checkbox next to them. Does this help me? Yes, it do. Bang. Okay, we can keep this. Does me watching TV all day, does this help me become the best version of myself? No, it don't. Get it out of your life, or at least put a limit to it. I feel like at the end of the day, we all know what it is that we have to do. We know deep down. I feel like we know what we have to do. So take control. You got this. You got this. My name is DK. Thank you for tuning into the Hour Change podcast. And hey, we up out of here. See you on the next episode. Peace.